And welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Bleach WIki podcast. For chapter 617 now. I'm Schiffy.
I'm hyped.
I'm Sal. I was about to say I'm Zill. I don't know why.
No, you don't want to be me.
I really don't.
I don't even think Zill wants to be Zill.
I know. Yes, clearly I hate myself that much.
Alright, so, we've somehow, 617 chapters. Hype, Eisen hype.
Eisen
Something's
dot hype dot gif.
Yep.
Dot JPEG. Um,
Dot Chapin?
I don't
JPEG.
know.
Oh, I think
I
he's a
would
Chapin. I thought he was a
Japan.
Chapin.
I would ask everybody
I'm thinking
like
Harry Chapin.
what were you? I don't know. I wasn't really blown away by this chapter. I mean, it's not like I disliked it. I just was like,
I was more like pleasantly
like,
amused.
I was like,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, we got our pretty basic start,
well, the thing is, like, the hype for me started when I saw the color page with Eisen just bound and gagged, and the title "Return of the God." I'm like, oh, good lord, here we go.
But was there really a return, or was there just some minor stabilization?
Assuming that like it can apply to either the Soul King or Eisen, then yes.
But Eisen's a wannabe god, not really one.
Anyway, but
No,
let's just
okay, Sal. There's no way you can ever interpret like Kubo's titles as being literal.
I didn't say that they were. You're the one that made the determination. I just said
exactly. I'm just
was
saying
there a return of one really? As I don't
hype-
believe that the Soul King really returned.
Well, it's hyperbole for Eisen, presumably.
Anyway, let's just note for a minute that this new godlike thing, this Mimihagi thing, its apparent solution for stabilizing the earthquakes and all that shit was apparently just holding the two pieces of the sliced in half Soul King together.
I'm gonna super glue that shit.
It's not even super glue. He's just holding one in place.
Yeah,
Mimihagi is the god of duct tape.
I was really like I wasn't really happy with that. I thought something else was going to happen, like the you would see like the appendage return to the Soul King's body or something like that, and then it would start to reform the other half or something like that.
Oh Jesus!
Or it would call the other limbs to it or something. Just something more interesting.
Exodia, I summoned thee.
Yeah, something more interesting than what we saw, and I was just like, that's it. Like, Ukitake sacrificed himself for that. Like,
he decided to make a temporary solution rather than a permanent one, so that there's still reason for the fighters to go to the palace. I think, because they had to go up there to somehow fix it. So otherwise, it'd be just like, okay, leave it to Ichigo, he wins.
It's very temporary because first of all, this is definitely one of the first times that that Bach has been actually
Pissed.
fuck.
He was like actually like angry for the first time in all of his appearances.
But what my issue about it is that the Soul King is holding everything together, and if this thing is just temporary, then my whole thing is like, okay, then what? Because okay, you get Yorihara and all them up there, there is no real solution, to fixing what happened to the daggone Soul King. Yorihara is the most intelligent guy in Bleach universe, and his whole thing is basically based on science. So if this is beyond science, this is the realm of gods we're talking about. This is the realm of supreme beings and things like that. This is beyond him. He's been befuddled with this look of what the fuck is going on the entire time. So my whole point was like, if the god part of it, which I thought was happening with Yukitaki's and the Mimihagi thing and the Kamakake, is not really doing what you think it's supposed to be doing, or doesn't seem to be doing much of anything besides holding him together temporarily, then what is going to be the alternative here to going up? Like, I'm not saying that I have to know exactly where the story is going, but it's not.
This better be temporary because let's just look at Ukitake just leaning back with the hand coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, that was just like disturbing. How Kamikake unfolded with like just blackness pouring out of his eyes, his ears, his mouth, and his nose. Like that's a fucking
and then his
movie.
entire body is just leaning back. Like,
yeah,
he's
kind of twitching. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah.
Oh, you people act like you've never seen a horror movie. Nobody here has ever seen The Haunting in Connecticut.
No. But the point is, it's a weird solution for something like this.
Sal, here's the thing. Like, I'm not like against like using stuff like that, but this is fucking Bleach. This is an Attack on Titan where everything is horrifying. Like, this is Bleach. I never thought I was gonna have an Ukitake, the smiling, like, good-natured captain of Squad 13. Jesus. Like, it's so out of the blue. That's why it shocked me. It was just like,
wait. Out of the blue, what is actually the next step after basically telling everybody I had some form of lung disease and my parents sacrificed my lungs to this obscure god?
Well, yeah, but that was the whole real out of the blue part. I mean, we went from really knowing next to nothing about Ukitake except that he was a bit diseased.
But wait a minute, I'm answering your point about out of the blue with the whole thing coming out of his mouth and everything. To the point was, I activated this Kamikake, which is this ritual, thing where the god that basically took my lungs is going to freaking take all my organs. Exactly what did you think was going to come after that?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, Sal, there's a difference between like having like a shadow on your body and your back going in the sky, and then that shadow coming out of your mouth instead.
Yeah, but nothing about what he was saying.
And then your body just going all limp.
I'm not saying that he wasn't insinuating that it was gonna be good, super happy fun times like some like Saturday morning cartoon show, but I was not expecting, that of all things, just that. That's all. That's all I could say.
And then we got Soifon being the voice of reason here.
First time in 617 chapters. All right.
I wouldn't call that reason. I would say she just made a logical, deduction. Like, wait a minute.
But I mean, she's not usually. I'm not gonna say Soifon is stupid. I mean, that's certainly not true. But she's not usually the one to draw a conclusion like this. This is something that you'd expect, Kisuke to come up with first, not her.
Well, I mean,
it's not the kind of thing I'd expect.
Let's be fair. I mean, common logic. This is common sense, common logic. If you look at somebody doing that, you say, well, wait a minute, they're sick all their time, and then they do this I'm guessing it's got to be tied to him in some way because it's not like he left his body.
And then just look at the reactions of some of the people.
Well, no. Okay, so do you think about Urahara thinking of it? Like, I'm pretty sure. Well, Urahara apparently knew about it, but didn't want to say it because he does that a lot. Like, where he knows what something, but he's like, I'm not going to tell people because I don't want to scare them, or maybe not just for strategic advantage. So it makes sense that someone else would like question him about it, and I guess in this case, Sui Feng doing it because she is to some extent logical, and also like she has been kind of like
perceptive.
She does do a lot of questioning, I guess. Like, like saying like, oh, so like I remember way back in like the beginning of the arc when the Royal Guard showed up and she was the first one to like rant at them for not coming down to help them. And before that, she was accusing Kensei of being glad that Yama was dead because he didn't like him. So she's kind of always had that, and this is kind of like a more restrained version of that, because she was kind of accusing him while questioning him, she was kind of accusing him of not, like, telling them outright in the first place. So,
yeah.
That's my take on it.
And then let's just, like, after she comes up with this whole thing, just look at Centaro's reaction, like...
Centauro?
Yeah, remember that guy? That no one freaking even remembers his name anymore, because he hasn't been important in forever.
Well, yes, that's kind of the point. He's not supposed to be important at all.
Exactly, but just his reaction in the next panel, he's just like, he's looking at Soifon like, you bitch, how dare you say that?
How dare you say that about Ukitake Senpai?
Well, pretty much, because I mean, look at these two fucking third seats have like seem to think Ukitake is some sort of god. Well, okay, Well, okay.
Oh,
I
that
guess he
reminds me.
is now. I guess he is now, isn't he?
That reminds me. I yesterday when I was adding the extended details of Mimihagi, I found the kanji, the translation on the corner. So it turns out the kanji for it translates to something like suspended god, which does
But
fit
it's
in
not even
with.
in kanji. It's completely in kana.
No, I'm sorry, I'm talking about kamikake, not Mimihagi.
Oh, okay, okay. That's
IR smart. You can't tell I'm a little tired, but but that does fit in with what it does, like, because it is in some way a suspended god. Because assuming that like basically Ukitagi's been living for all these centuries with a bit of Mimihagi inside of him, and so now after all these years, after like suspension, the god's ready to come back in the form of restoring the Soul King for however long. So I find that a bit interesting bit of foreshadowing on Kubo's part from when it first got brought up in 605, because back then it seemed like it was some sort of precognitive thing, like it allowed them to predict the future of the Monoreich attacking and
well, yeah. I mean,
going
that's
after
what
the
we
king.
got from the idea of the eye. But
But no, also the eye when Jujuman was freaking out at like how his plans were about my plans were being ruined. The eye like smiled at him. Like, what the fuck? Is Mimi Hagi the next troll? Is that what this is? Jesus
oh
Christ.
god, I think I see the panel you're talking about. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it like how do you smile with an eye? That just seems to defy all logic of how conventional anatomy works.
Well, too bad, bitch.
Oh jeez. Sally, you still here? Saru?
So,
Uh-oh.
did his mic break again? He's in the call.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. I hear him.
Okay, good.
Okay, okay. All right, then that whole thing happens. Now we pan to Kyoraku.
Oh yeah, with the keys.
Is uh is uh he's like
I think
are you
the
against
question
using
possibly
conversations
is,
with Uriatsu? And then, but it's like, yeah, are you against conversations using Uriatsu? Which is really funny because that would have to be how we talk to Bach
Yeah, presumably.
to deny his
or was
offer.
it?
But whatever.
The question I think I think everybody probably would want to know is whether he was free. How long was he free?
Oh yeah, someone on my blog
And if he
just
was, then
today.
why didn't he just leave?
Someone on
Like,
my blog just today had a theory that actually Bach was the one who freed him like 3 or 4 days ago, and then he's just been waiting all this time because presumably if he's against talking with his Reiatsu, then to talk to Aizen, Bach would have to take off the mouth seal, and so
and I don't
I
think
don't know.
anybody was aware that Bach had talked to Aizen, but
Oh
Yamamoto.
jeez, Schiff, was that you?
What?
I heard like a loud noise.
Sorry, that might have been. I don't know. Anyway, but the problem is
What?
the problem is uh Kyoraku clearly he would have had to have Kyoraku has to be the one to have taken off the mouth seal, because if he didn't, he would have already seen it taken off, I would assume, unless it's
He can't see, right? He can't see like into the darkness where Aizen.
Yeah, okay, I guess
was.
so. Maybe I guess it's not literal key into a keyhole kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Also, I saw a pretty amusing comment about that first section of the Aizen thing, where it was like it's like Shensui first. I'll take off the seal on your mouth, and Aizen's like thanks, and then it's like next take off the seal on your ass, and Aizen's like wait what?
Oh look, well, hey, look at that. That's actually the kanji for mouth lying next to the key. Huh, that's something.
Yeah. There are so many like if that color page is like for real and not just like an artistic like exaggeration, he is really bound. Like they don't want him getting out.
Well, we saw that the first time when the Central 46 first bound him
Yeah,
together.
but it was just like his butt. It was like, but back then it was just like all of his body parts had some like black tape over them. But now it's like if he's just like wired to all these like pillars with all these red things sticking out of him. God knows what those are for. Like maybe they're for like the spears and Kung Fu Panda that were holding Shenlong in place. But Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let's see. So he takes off the mouth seal. Then we get back to the lab.
Back to the lab.
Back to the lab, and everyone's like surprised and all that shit. And it's like, oh my god, we don't have enough power. All these captains and lieutenants don't have enough power.
We must construct additional pylons.
Basically.
But how?
Basically, but you know, apparently out of all of them, Ukitake had the most Reiatsu in the entire.
That's what I said, but Zill said no.
Hey, you literally said that we were both right, so don't bring that shit up here. All right?
No, I mean that's clearly what they're
shit.
saying, but the point is like, so you're saying he had more than every other captain and lieutenant combined?
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think so, and
that's what we had an argument about because he doesn't think that's what they're saying.
I don't think so. I think that like okay, so I'll explain my logic for the audience because they can't see the Skype chat and all the bullshit that happens in it. So basically, what I'm thinking is, so let's just presume that you need a set amount of Reiatsu total to operate these orbs to create a doorway for everyone to go through to the Soul Palace, right? Now, let's say they had that with all these captains and lieutenants, which is why they were gathered there. Now you take Ukitake out of it. He's a captain. We know he's powerful because he and Shunsui have Reiatsu unmatched by their peers or predecessors. You take him out of it, and you don't have anyone to replace him because Shunsui is off with Aizen, and really, like, all the remaining captains and visors who could come and supply this could not match him, and I think that's pretty obvious. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's contributing more than half of the total amount needed.
It's more just contributing the last amount needed.
Or just like a large chunk, like maybe 30-40% that need to be filled somehow. That's my
point. That's my point though. Either which way you try to word it or spin it, the fact of the matter is that his contribution is far more than anybody else's daggone putting in.
Exactly.
Mainly because if that was the case, if you could put Zaraki and Byakuya and Shinji and the rest of the Zords and all the lieutenants and Soifang and Yorohara and all them together, and they still can't open this door, there's something significantly wrong here.
Okay, Sal, I'm pretty sure that
it is a door.
If they had taken out like even Kenpachi or Byakuya or whatever, other people with like massive amounts, I think they would have still had to make up the death.
But wait a minute. You think that, but you don't know that. What we do know is that Ukitake outside of it didn't work, and that what happened was Miori had to come and he says, "Oh, y'all can't make the daggone thing work?" He said, "Well, here, I happen to have this daggone machine that happens to amplify Retsu." Now, if the case was that he could show up and the other Vizards show up after getting changed and they could all open the door by using their power, then that would be one thing. But apparently not him or the other Vizards could actually combine with everybody else could be powerful enough to open the door without the amplifier. So
because they can't make up Ukitake. I said that, like, they can't match his power with the remaining quote-unquote scrubs in the Serete, but that doesn't mean that, like, he's more powerful. It's just that he is, like, the most powerful compared to everyone else, like, in a singular sense, but not, like, more than ever combined, because that would be, like, Yamaji levels of stuff.
You also gotta think at what the hell they're trying to do. I mean, they are trying to get to, well, the fucking Soul King. You would hope that it's not easy to get
another
there.
dimension that everybody has to carry.
Quote unquote easy. After how many people?
Yeah, you would hope it's not exactly easy to
barriers?
Get there.
The 72 barriers. Yes, the 72 barriers. Assuming that like they're not using like a method. Assuming that they are using a method similar to however they got. Because
if you could just go up, then I don't think this would be a problem. Obviously, regardless of 72 barriers or whatever, being in an entirely separate dimension, and this is one of the most protected places in the Bleach universe, if not the most protected place in the Bleach universe, and it's not easy to get there. I don't care who you are. Something has to give. So they are basically using their Retsu, combining it to force open a door. And this has been done before, I think, in the anime. What was it? Didn't they open a door or something like this?
I don't. They've opened Senkaimon, but that's not.
Wasn't
the same
that
thing.
what they? No, when they in the that horrible Zanpakuto arc.
No.
Didn't they combine their power together in order to close this dimensional rift?
They closed the Garganta, but that's like between like the Soul King Palace is like still in Soul Society.
Specifically that. I'm just saying they did something similar. is what I'm saying.
I guess, yes.
But they're basically trying to combine their Retsu together to force open a path to get to the Soul King Palace. So in that sense, one of their most powerful is not there, and they're kind of screwed.
Yeah, because he's contributing a lot.
But to put the point on it, what me and Zill were talking about the other day, I said I find it, I don't know, I think it was Zill who said it, but I was like, yeah, I find it really convenient that Mayuri just happens to have a machine for every single thing.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in a sec. First of all, the first thing I have to say concerning this, Lisa Nanao OTP.
Lisa out of nowhere with the cooldown. Jesus.
Okay. So here's my problem with Here's the problem I have with this thing with this amplifier. Mayuri just shows up out of nowhere, which, he'll do. He will show up out of nowhere, that's fine.
And he was alerted, so it makes sense that he shows up in the first place.
But then he's like, why don't you just use this machine that's been sitting right here this whole
Schiff, don't do that. I explained on my blog, and so did everyone else, that it was behind a wall. It was not out in the open. It was hidden behind his control panel. Wait.
To be fair, though, you did make the argument. Fair. You did make the argument that why didn't Yorihara see it? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's been 112 years. Like, that's not his laboratory. I mean, the R&D is not his place anymore. Things have changed. He's not. He can't just notice something by daggone look up. Oh, that's an amplifier over there.
That reminds me, actually. Sal, I think we need to update all the pages that talk about the turn back the pendulum stuff, because we still say it's 110 years ago when it's been a time skip. Oh dear.
Oh well, yeah.
So it's 112.
It's 112.
112 or 103 if you after the 9 year thing.
Is it?
But
yeah.
But anyway, back to the present.
Back to the current chapter. Okay, fine. It was behind a wall. That explains things a little better for me, because the thing was, I mean, Urahara is still the point is he has proven more than enough times that he can lapse Mayuri in knowledge. So if the amplifier were out in the open, I would assume at least that Urahara could just look at it and say, and like at least take a quick look at it with a little amount of time and figure out what it does. Not look at it at a glance and know what it does, but after examining it for a bit. If it was behind a wall through a button, that's a different story.
Yeah, well,
yes.
They're scientists of a different flavor. Your archetype Mayuri is the archetype mad scientist, where Yorihara is the great the beautiful mind.
Absolutely no. They're both mad scientists.
But they're not.
Urahara doesn't show it, but he's a mad scientist. It's been shown that he does dabble in the kind of mad scientist shit. He just doesn't show it that much.
No, an example of a great scientist, mad scientist, would be not giving a fuck about anybody, just killing people just to see what happens. That's what Mayuri does, and I think the difference is that Yorihara's techniques are more geared towards creating inventions and things like that, and his inventions are some of the greatest in the Bleach universe, if not the greatest in the Bleach universe, barring some of the Royal Guard. And then Mayuri is more geared, it seems, he does invent, but I think more of his stuff is geared more towards biology and chemistry type stuff.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like, if it were almost any other character in the series, I would have called Deus Ex Machina on that, because it's so convenient and all.
Yeah, it's so
convenient. But the thing is, it's Mayuri. Like, if anything, he's more prepared than Aizen and Urahara put together. Like, even though I hate Fade to Black, like, I can believe him having a backup brain with like backup memories in case he loses his. Because it's always like
that was probably the most believable thing in Fade to Black, a backup brain, because it's Mayuri.
I wouldn't say that he is more prepared than Yorihara. I would say that he has had more opportunities being shown in the manga and the anime and the movies of being having more backup plans than
Yeah,
Yorahara, because Yorahara
and
has shown in that case. But every time we see Yorahara, I mean, that whole thing with Aizen, let's be honest, nobody expected him to just show up and be like, yeah, I kind of implanted a keto seal
I put a
in the
keto on the
middle.
back of another keto on the back
Yeah,
of another
like
keto.
nobody was expecting that, and we were like, what?
And yeah, that's how Urahara won the final fight.
Yeah, like I
But they
mean,
wasn't even involved in. Seems legit. But
yeah, like
Yeah, Ichigo didn't even win. I mean, he didn't lose, but he didn't win. Urahara
yeah,
won.
Urahara
he
wins.
created the situation for them to defeat Aizen.
Yeah, and here
Urahara is essentially the most successful third-party candidate.
Yeah.
pretty much. And here's the thing, like, the dialogue that he had, the short dialogue about the machine that he had with Urahara about like, oh, why didn't I? If I'd known about this, I would have used it earlier. Well, I didn't think it was gonna be this serious. It implies that he may have made it like just like in the event that they need to use it for just like in general against these Quincy who can control Reishi and stuff. It was kind of like a as like a just in case sort of thing, and so.
And the doorway thing is just something that Urahara came up with. He wasn't something that he planned for. So it's not like he was busy. Like he was busy on other things. He couldn't just have known. Oh, we weren't going to have enough power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now that I'm going back and looking at one of these pages again, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead to the next part here. Okay, now I see how the freaking keys work.
Oh yeah.
The keyholes are all like in the ground, and Kyoraku has the box of keys with him.
Yep.
The holes are in the ground and they're marked.
I can use 3
with what they seal, and he's putting one of the keys in his box into the keyhole in the ground, marked with the kanji for mouth.
I wonder if are the kanji on the thing like readable at all? Like, can you tell what they correlate to? Because
in the next image, like the ones next to it, I don't think so.
Okay, because like
I'll go back.
I remember seeing someone else.
I don't think they're intentionally readable. Like I think they're really just like little dots that that he didn't put much time. He put more focus into into saying, okay, well, this is the mouth key, but he didn't try and focus. Kubo didn't try and focus on what the other ones are.
Yeah, well, I remember someone else saying, like, the other 2 keys were going to be used to unlock Aizen's balls, but, no can contain those anyway.
Yeah, okay, going back into, like, page 12, all the, it looks like it's really just a bunch of scribbles. There aren't really kanji. It's just, like, it's just, like, this is just kind of signify that all these keyholes are here.
Yeah, although I do question like if Aizen is like if he's bound like vertically or horizontally, like if he's lying down on these pillars or if they're like actual pillars and they're
from the cover
up.
page at least. It seems like if we can take that page at face value, it seems like he was sitting in a chair and bound.
I guess. Maybe.
Because that's also what he was like the last time we saw him, and I'm pretty sure when they flashed when Bach was like talking about his conversation with Aizen, I'm pretty sure he was in that chair.
Well, like
it showed some flashback panels.
The flashback that panel like it was from like the panel from like the end of the Arrancar arc when he was being questioned by Settle 46 and he was in that chair in that exact pose.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It looks like they kind of just recycled that panel. But from what I can understand, it's essentially that. He just has more seals on him.
Yeah, also because in that panel his eye was visible and the color page had him all, bound up. So, but anyway, moving on to the final part of this chapter.
This is also the first time I have to note that talking with Reiatsu, that's not something I really remember them ever mentioning before.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they talk about. Well, someone said that's how they talk across such great distances, but I don't know.
I mean, though I guess, and this is really just a guess.
It's like talking with Stans and JoJo.
No, but I mean, like you could start some crap that is some form of telepathy, sort of. But if anything, I would guess this talking with Reiatsu. I would guess that's the only logical way that I can think of is how they send messages through Hell Butterflies.
Maybe.
That's how they pretty much encrypt a message into a Hell Butterfly to have it, there. Or Or Tentekura.
Yeah, that thing. But anyway, for their last part, in classic fashion, Shunsui asks Aizen, "Okay, like you can talk, right?" And Aizen's like, "Yep." And then in the most hilariously just like out of character translation, if Manga Panda translates the next line as "No way."
I don't think it's that far off.
Shunsui does not say "No way." He does not think "No way." He'd be like, "Oh no."
I think
funny
stream
to say.
translated as "How is this possible?" or "How did this happen?"
Yeah, but just no way. On.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was the worst translation I've ever seen.
No,
I mean,
no,
there have been more ridiculous.
It's not bad. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's a little out of character for Shunsui, but it's not horrible.
But in classic fashion, Aizen, somehow assuming he was still bound, managed to get the rest of his seals off with only his mouth unsealed. Walks forward and says, "What's wrong? You still have 2 keys left, haven't you?" End of chapter.
Well, I mean, clearly, he's still got 2 keys left, and the only things still bound are his ass and his balls.
Yes. Can you please loosen those?
Yes. Hey, Shunsui. I mean, I know you still got 2 keys left, and I know I'm mostly free, but I got kind of a problem.
I really need to use the bathroom. Like it's been years.
It's been 2 years. I haven't had the chance to take a piss.
Although I mean I wonder like this does raise a question of how he's supposed to serve. Well, never mind. I just remember he was immortal.
Well, God damn it. And their souls. So.
Well, like no, like it was the whole thing about souls with high power need to eat food, but he's also immortal, so he's not gonna die from that.
But
he's gonna be hungry though.
I would stand the reason that
there's 1,000 Big Macs.
There's no situation. I think everybody could logically assume that there's no situation that is going to exist where Aizen survives this situation.
Yeah, no, he gonna die. 2 kids gonna die tonight.
But anyway.
Immortality aside, that can mean many daggone things, and it can mean nothing to certain people.
Well, right? In this case, anyway. I'm assuming that's how he survived without food and drink for so long. That's all.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless, let's go back to this whole thing here. Aizen, he's somehow freed. He's somehow completely free after Shunsui only used 1 key. So that raises 2 possibilities in my head. And if one of you guys wants to tell me I'm completely fucking wrong and there's no way this is possible, please go ahead.
I'm ready.
Anyway, the first one that we were talking about before we started recording in the call is the possibility that Bach freed him.
I mean, I brought it up, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one who brought that up. I mean,
I think that's entirely possible.
The keyholes are within Shunsui's field of vision, but Aizen was not, so he could have been free the whole time.
Yeah, and Shunsui didn't see his tweets. That's why he didn't know.
Oh yeah, that too.
Hashtag I'm free.
Hashtag I'm back, bitches.
That
back
too.
in black even.
That too. The other idea, assuming he wasn't, let's assume he wasn't free the whole time. The other idea is that maybe that Aizen, after having his mouth free, was able to possibly mutter under his breath some form of keto.
Or third, he's just that good.
Well, wait. I mean that too. But
I would say
this is just kind of an extreme guess on my part.
The second one doesn't seem so likely because I don't see the likelihood of even if he had the power to mutter keto under his breath and stuff like that, there's no way in the world that Shunsui would not have sensed that.
True. That's the only.
So I don't think that's possible.
Maybe he used how number 1 like a billion times, and so since we didn't see any flashes of light or anything.
But yeah, so the most logical conclusion at this time is
he's just that good.
No, yes, but that Bach did something when they spoke.
Maybe.
Um,
Freed him on the chance that you'll accept my offer.
Can we be best friends?
Yep.
I'm short one right now.
I'll let you go. And he's like, no, I don't want any part of you. You can get the fuck out now. And
This chair is actually pretty comfortable. I'll just go back to sitting here.
But
Thanks.
I think my whole thing, like I said before, is if he was free,
that
regardless.
That chair better have been comfortable, because you know how the Eighth Amendment works. I mean, I don't know if Soul Society has that.
No.
You know, cruel and unusual punishment thing. I mean, the chair better at least be comfy.
Really?
Yes, clearly the punishment is how comfortable the chair is, not the fact that he's bound and gagged and unable to move for 20,000 years. That's totally not the important part.
Shut up! This is my logic. Don't question it.
Your logic
Don't
is
question my
small.
logic, you bitch.
I think the real issue is like if he was free all that other time, if we're assuming that he was free all that time, then why didn't he just leave?
Because Aizen is the chess master. He has a plan for everything. And he does, well, I mean, he embodies the chess master trope.
Wait. There is actually, I'm gonna refute that with some basic concepts here. Aizen is not the chess master in this situation. The reason why is because the one thing that Aizen was trying to do, somebody else already did. What is Aizen's purpose now? What does he have?
I'm pretty sure Aizen's whole I planned this from the beginning follows the logic of Joseph Joestar. It's like I didn't actually plan it from the beginning, but if it pisses them off, you know.
But yeah, with Aizen though, regardless, he's certainly not an idiot. I think he realizes that had he left, even though he could at any time, had he actually left, everyone would have noticed. And let's remember that.
Would they though? Would they?
But let's remember what kind of position
Who would be there to notice?
Aizen pretty much all he has left is his words. His Zanpakuto fell apart. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the Hogyoku in his body anymore.
No, he does. It's fused with them. That's why he's immortal.
If it's fused with him, it doesn't listen to him because of that doubt that he had when he fought Ichigo.
Yeah, but
all it left
so
him
he really the Hogyoku, which is it's in his body, it's granting him immortality, but he can't do jack shit with it. That and his Zanpakuto fell apart.
Well, okay, so that just leaves him with, Master Swordsmanship, Master Kido, Master Shunpo, Master of Hakuda.
You just said Master Swordsmanship, but with what?
A sword. He gets grab one. He gets grab one from random dead-ass Shinigami. Or he can just punch people and shoot laser beams at them with his fingertips.
That brings me back to a much older point that I've brought up.
I don't even know how long it takes for you to inscribe your soul into a Zagon's.
I'm not saying he is to inscribe his soul. You can just pick up a sword, even if it's because you can use someone else's Zanpakuto. It may not be able to release it, but you can use his base form. That's all he ever used when he was fighting.
But here's the thing with Aizen. Aizen's key power throughout the entire series was illusion. It makes you wonder just how far he took it. An old theory of mine is how powerful is Aizen really physically? How much of it
was actually him?
How much was actually him, and how much of it was faked by his total control of five senses?
I feel like his when he started doing something at the end of the Soul Society arc, when he stopping Ichigo with one finger, almost cutting him in half with one swing. I don't think it could have been achieved with illusion. So I think that was him.
But it's control of the five senses. He can control literally. He takes control of everything, including their sense of touch.
Wait a minute. I would postulate this point. Even if you could say that is all of him, and I do believe it was all him, I don't know necessarily that was an illusion because Ichigo hadn't seen his release.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that it really amounts to nothing in comparison to a lot of other characters, and that there may be some reality to what Schiffy is saying, based on the fact that when everybody found out what he was doing, his only plan was to daggone break out and leave. If he was a power enough to take on every daggone body, as he apparently did later on in the series at the end of the Rancor arc, which I believe is only capable because of the Hogyoku, then he would have daggone did that then.
I'm not
he was
saying...
capable of taking on somebody like Unohana. He wouldn't have ran tail when she called him and told him, I knew you was lying and that wasn't a real body. He headed the other way because he ain't want none of that.
Well, I'm not saying like he's like... I'm not saying he's like... I'm not necessarily saying that he's trying to say that like he's like super duper strong, like up there with the original 4 captains, Yamamoto.
I know you're not, but
I'm saying he's
the storyline that actually tried to say that. Remember when he was fighting and Gin did that whole little monologue about the power and the strength of Aizen and stuff like that? Like, he did this whole thing, and I'm like, but I don't know that that's really all him. I didn't believe it.
Here's another thing, though. Let's go back to connection between Aizen and Ichigo. Aizen revealed shortly before Ishin showed up to kick ass. If you let's back in Fake Karakura, Ishin was about to show up and kick ass. Aizen was talking about he'd pretty much been watching Ichigo since the day he was born.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, let's
assume,
like with this arc, we knew why he knew that Ichigo was born. Assuming he wanted to, he did keep, assuming that his dialogue at the end of his appearance was him deciding to keep tabs on Masaki and Masaki at least because of the whole white thing. Assuming that's why, but
what are the chances that without ever realizing, years before he ever became a substitute Shinigami, that Ichigo may have seen Aizen's release?
That seems ridiculous.
I'm going crazy conspiracy theorist here, but that's a guess.
I don't think
like
there's
he's popped
anything
into
to
that
back that
house
up.
while like the parents were away. It's like, hey Ichigo, guess what? Kyosuke Getsu. Okay,
wait a minute. One point to even refute that line of thinking. When everybody was Dago fighting, and then freaking Hitsugai ended up Dago running Momo through, and Ichigo was standing there like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Yeah, he could see them.
He saw all that happen. Didn't do anything, mind you, which is one of my greatest pet peeves ever. Is like, you saw
that's
this.
Right, he was there. He was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Whole thing.
Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. He was in Fake Town near the end of the Shinigami battle.
All right. Okay. So, but that also means that that depends on where does Aizen's control extend? I mean, Hitsugaya saw himself stabbing Aizen. I mean,
it extends to everybody who saw his release, which
everyone. But the question is, Ichigo saw.
But the question is, can in the same situation, can he make different people see different things?
Well,
could he make it so only Hitsugaya saw himself stabbing Aizen, everyone else saw what was actually happening?
No,
I don't think that's
what happened. Everyone after he stabbed Momo or quote unquote Aizen, everyone was like, "Oh, thank God, it's finally over." And then only Ichigo was like, "Holy shit, what has happened?"
We don't have any information that shows that Aizen is capable of being that specific. The interesting part is Shinji is capable of being that specific.
Well, yeah, because Shinji isn't controlling all 5 senses. Shinji's mostly controlling sight.
Well, wait a minute. Here's an interesting thing.
Well, Shinji's controlling sense of direction.
Yeah, he's controlling sense of direction and stuff like that, and up, down, and everything like that. And Aizen said what he did was an optical illusion, but I'm not entirely sure that that's correct based on the sense of direction thing. Not only that, but the fact that Shinji even advanced his Dagon usage to being able to say his words backwards and stuff like that. That's not visual. That's hearing.
Yeah. It seems to be more like
Aizen can control a lot more. Well, from what I see between Aizen and Shinji, Aizen's able to control more of the senses than Shinji.
Aizen uses hypnosis to control the senses on a level approaching. To create illusions that it can, affect all 5 senses.
Right.
That's
Shinji, while only being able to manipulate sight and possibly hearing. No, not sight. He's able to control specifically sense of direction, which pulls from sight and hearing and slightly touch.
Right.
It seems he's able to manipulate less senses and maybe do more with them.
Exactly, and I don't know that, the thing is that Shinji's, you can argue back and forth, but the fact of the matter is that when it comes down to it, Aizen Zanpakuto was good for espionage and, attacking somebody from behind and all the other stuff, but when it comes to actual raw power, it just doesn't have it.
the one thing. Here's back to my old Aizen theories. Um, Aizen was again. He's able to manipulate all five senses, which, as we've seen with Bach, can even cause someone's sense of time to go completely out of whack.
Assuming that's his Zanpakuto power, not him just bullshitting Juju Man for however long to make him lose track of time.
That too. He might, because while what we do know is that a Zanpakuto spirit is not strictly part of the sword. It's part of the Shinigami soul. A sword is kind of a medium.
It is the manifestation of that Shinigami's power, given its own existence.
Right,
So,
but I mean, there also might be some things that some Shinigami can do without necessarily being released.
Of course, like Ichibe, he can do a hell of a lot, you know. And even with his Zanpakuto unreleased, it still can half your power and everything like that just by hitting you with it. Like
Aizen was clearly able to start bullshitting Bach to a point that he lost track of time, which that's certain. I really don't think he was just talking so damn long.
It's words.
Yeah, I don't think it's because he was just talking for so damn long.
His skill was
he was clearly able to manipulate something. It wasn't just being overtalkative.
Here's the point that I wanted to make, and everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, but let's think about this because this is a possibility this is going to end up happening. Aizen versus Bach. Now, if anybody could question the stability of this quote unquote immortality of Aizen's, it would probably be Bach and his almighty OP-ness, because if he can counteract any daggone thing.
But anyway, we're like a chapter of him trying to kill Aizen, and Aizen just gets regenerating and be like, you want to go again, bro? I'll stand right here.
But here's something. Here is something that I am that I've been questioning for God knows how long. Aizen has the power. Aizen has this total five senses control with this absolute hypnosis, whatever. What are the chances he bullshitted his captain's exam?
Oh, you mean to? Assuming that like they took. Okay, we're assuming that he took the Bankai exam and not the recommendation exam, because that he was putting on like this air of like the nice like gentle lieutenant who was the voice of reason in counter to his captain and stuff. And we know that you can become a captain if you get like a recommendation from like 6 captains or whatever. So we're assuming that because we already know that he did bullshit his Shikai power, but that he also didn't want to take the chance of if he like assuming that he does have a Bankai or doesn't, he didn't want to take the chance of like accidentally revealing the truth about his having it or not.
Right, so, but I mean he was able to use his Shikai to make people to show people a fake one.
I guess.
Which also makes me think that maybe he was also able to create what is essentially a fake Bankai.
Wait a minute. It would have had to have been, I think, it would have had to have been by the test, because he couldn't have gotten a recommendation. There weren't enough captains.
All right, well, how many captains do you need? Like 6?
I believe so.
When Aizen became a captain,
assuming it was near or after the visor, you only lost.
We lost 4 captains.
Wait. You lost Yorihara, you lost Shinji, you lost Love, you lost Kensei, you lost Rose, you lost Yoruichi.
Okay, so that's 6, and there's 7 left, right?
There's 7 left.
And one was
there was no 10th division captain.
Yeah.
So that would leave 6. That would leave Yamamoto. That would leave Unohana. That would
Ugetake, Shansui, Kiganjo, and
who the fuck else?
9th, 8th. Whoever was in the 8th. No, wait, that was.
Ginrei,
that guy.
And
Byakuya's grandfather.
God, all these old people.
and Kampachi.
That's
whatever.
okay. So yeah, wait. Then he couldn't have been able to take the recommendation exam because first of all, that would leave 6 captains who would have to recommend him. I believe. That would right. That would be 6.
Yeah,
Yep.
that means only captains available would have to recommend him.
Which,
Like,
first of all, do you really think Kiganjo would probably have given enough of a shit to do that?
no, I don't.
There
I
you go.
doubt.
There you
I doubt
go.
he's-
Okay, so
The chances of the recommendation requirement, the actual recommendation thing happening, the chances of him gaining captaincy by that would have been a lot harder.
well,
Which makes me think that maybe he bullshitted a bunch.
Okay, either that or he did what he did with his Shikai and like made like a fake Bankai that was related with his like mist thing. I thought you were saying that he was pretending that he had Bankai but didn't at all.
No, I'm saying that using his Shikai, he created a fake Bankai to go with his fake Shikai.
Well, yeah, probably. But
that also questions that if he created a fake Bankai, did he have a real one at all?
Yeah, I would assume so, because like prior to the whole Goku and him becoming just kind of like a generic powerhouse using only his sword, he did like advance himself.
Okay, Skype crashed on me. We're back. Anyway, I'll figure out how to trim some crap. Anyway, when I was going into the whole crap about Aizen possibly faking a Bankai and him not having a real one at all.
Yeah, and
Something like that.
I was trying to say that I feel like he advanced enough as a Shinigami that him attaining Bankai, it wasn't like I don't think he was like unskilled enough to just kind of not reach that level. It seemed like he was at the level of proficiency with being a Shinigami in general that he could just attain it somehow over all those years of practice and whatever.
True, but what I'm wondering is, did he do that before or after becoming captain?
I mean, like he's at 100 years in between, so he could get whatever. He only needed his Shikai for his schemes, so no point in exerting yourself.
Makes me think that if he did have a Bankai, just what the fuck could it do? Holy shit.
Soul King. Dot Bankai.
Yeah.
Super powerful. Right.
Anyway, what else was there left in we were just talking about Aizen and shit.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone's hyped for Aizen being back with his sheer trollery becoming evident even in this chapter with his like 2-page appearance. So it's pretty good.
So, yeah, hype for 618. Yeah.
I have not felt this much hype since like Ichibei revealed his Shikai. Like that was when I last said like holy shit at the end of like a chapter. Aside from of course Ichigo being forced to attack the Soul King, which was hilarious.
But
yeah, I mean, Aizen's coming back. All the fangirls are gonna scream now. No wait, Aizen didn't have fangirls. Aizen had fanboys.
Yeah.
Not many of the girls liked Aizen.
Not entirely sure why Aizen really hadn't been good since he left Soul Society.
Oh, he trolled. That's why everyone loves to troll.
I guess.
People don't like a character based on which side they're on. People like a character based on how good they are, like how much of a badass they can be.
Yeah, but it wasn't so much he was a badass. He was a badass before he left Soul Society. After that, he just became, I don't know what to even call.
Orcus. Sal.
And Sal's mic blew out, I think.
God damn it.
Well, at least the call is still going this time.
That's a relief. Alright, well, I think we've
kind of covered everything.
Yeah, pretty much. We've established our hype, which is the important part.
Mm.
Oh, there you are.
There's Sal.
Okay. I mean, of course, Sal is as always. I know him. He's cautiously optimistic about this, maybe possibly.
I'm cautiously optimistic about components.
Okay, there we go.
I've never been really a fan of Aizen, but I like Aizen as a antagonist more than I like Bach. But at the same time, I don't like the current to Rancor arc Aizen. I like the Aizen from Soul Society.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Aizen.
I saw like
Um,
for like most of the things from like the arcs where I wasn't reading as they came out. I've been like, okay. So like what I'm interested to see what he's gonna do in this new arc now that he has someone one upping him pretty much constantly in the form of Buck. Which I mean, is he gonna be jealous? Is he gonna start tweeting at him like fucking Rihanna? I don't know.
Yeah, the question is just what is Aizen going to do?
Uh, become the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is
Mm,
really his only option left in life.
right. Yeah, that's something I'm just gonna ignore that.
He has the throne to sit on in that little dinky chair.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
totally his throne. Well, makes you wonder what happened. What really happened to Las Noches?
it got like destroyed.
Oh
We
yeah.
saw.
And then Aizen takes like a little break after all is said and done, goes back to Las Noches and sees his special throne is all destroyed.
Where is my giant couch?
He's like, no, my giant throne, my meeting table, my
Have you
tea.
have you seen this couch? It is ludicrous. It is absolutely
Uh,
ridiculous. It is like 20 times the size.
I know.
It's like a couch for Yami. It's ridiculous.
What I do like about this, about recent chapters in general, is really we've had pretty much nearly every key player showing up and getting proper screen time.
Yeah, I'd
I
say
mean,
so.
we've had the Shinigami, we've had Ichigo's crew, we've had the Soul King Palace, we've now had Aizen, we've had the Quincy's. The only people we're still missing so far, we're missing the Fullbringers.
Well, missing might be a strong word there.
Well, they're there. They're
For some
somewhere.
what?
people, like,
Well, wait a minute. I don't know the word missing is actually. I mean, you giving people who are screen time, but the question is, should they have ever had a daggone right to have screen time? Like the freaking dead Fullbringers. What purpose do they serve? They should be dead.
All right, fine.
Go on.
Okay. At least
well, they
bring
are
back
dead.
at least bring back Giriko so we can see what the hell he can actually do.
I don't
I
think so.
I liked him before he went Hulk.
I mean, I think we all did.
I like Giriko. I like non-Hulk Giriko. I want to see more of that. Let's see. We haven't really seen much of the other Arrancar lately, like the Tres Bestias. We haven't. From what I understand, like, does the Vandenreich still have any forces left in Hueco Mundo?
I sold that to like keep things under control,
I mean, like,
but
is there any even reason to anymore?
I don't
Well,
know.
Sun is all types of late, so I don't know what she's saying that.
Yeah, yeah. Sun's kind of late into the. Anyway, um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, we haven't really seen much of the Iran car. Something about the Fullbringers. I was saying there was at least one other.
Grimjow?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, there's always Grimjow. There's always Grimjow.
Maybe Grimjow will be the one to fatally poison Juju Man with his hollow Raitsu.
Oh, that'll be fun.
That'd be hilarious.
Or
I mean,
Halibel, because
I mean, like we
she's
had.
if Halibel gets free, she's gonna be out for blood.
I mean, assuming she still fight, because she was in a resurrection when we saw her, and like lots of her stuff have been destroyed, and that can't come back because of how the resurrections work. So,
Yeah.
but what was I gonna say? Like Kubo made good on his promise to draw Aizen in his like restraints with this new chapter. So I think we're gonna get some more of his promises fulfilled. Which one of them of which is Grimjow coming back. So we'll see.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was with Urahara for the longest time, and then Urahara shows up, and well, yeah.
Yeah, Grimjow's still yelling Kurosaki-kun.
God damn it! Don't make me break out the thing I just found somewhere in my backlog of watch later videos. The 10 minutes of that.
Oh, from like every episode, or just like on a loop.
It's just on a loop. 10 minutes of Kurosaki-kun.
I mean, that's how Ichigo will win. He'll transform into his full hollow form out of sheer rage of being called that, and Jujutsu will have no defense. Because he can't predict hollows. Woo.
Of course.
Anyway. Anyway, I think we're done here. We're just evolving into just shit posting.
Yeah, like usual. Well, so that's the latest chapter. I guess.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Sun couldn't be with us because she's doing something. Maybe drinking.
That and we started a little earlier.
Well, yeah, because Schiff has to go to a hockey game. I didn't want to keep him.
Nah, so. If I don't go to this one, I really don't care. But you know, we got it done earlier, so. Anyway. I mean, yeah, that game's been going on for the past 25 minutes. Oh well. Anyway, so I think it's about time we wrap this up anyway.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So, shit. How do we end this? You're being whined at.
Yeah. Oh no, sun's gonna take my head off. I know it.
Oh boy.
Well, well
bye
Bach versus
everyone.
Eyes in 2015.
Yeah. Expect it. Believe it. This has been Zill.
This has been the Bleach WIki podcast. I'm Schiffy, or whoever the hell I am.
Yep. And I'm still hyped. We'll see you all
next. Hype.
We'll see you guys next time for 618. Yay! Bye.